Alright, so now we have questions of the week. So, first question we have is what first round pick are you highest on? For example, which player do you think will be the best overall player in the draft?
Regardless of position?
Yeah, regardless of position. Not from a fantasy perspective, just for an overall team.
Are we talking about the first year or years to come?
Years to come.
I don't like any of the quarterbacks personally. It's not a good quarterback draft. They're still good. I think one of them is going to be a franchise quarterback. But my guy, I think it's going to be Joey Bosa. I think he's going to be amazing.
Really? Wow.
He was #1 ranked for the start of the season, the college football season. He's just a beast. He's almost like Jadeveon Clowney, although he's better. In my opinion, he's better. He's a great pass rusher. He's a great run stopper.
I feel like
he's very agile. He's very fast.
Yeah,
he has great moves. He's just an
all
all-around great player.
The only thing the reason why I don't pick him is because didn't he have off the field issues?
Yeah, he did get suspended one
He
game.
did, right? And I don't
why.
just usually it seems that especially when more money comes into the picture for those kind of players, more and more problems follow with them, like Josh Gordon. Not that he's going to become Josh Gordon, but you see he got more money, more issues arise with drugs and things of that nature. So that's the only reason why I'm not.
Yeah, that is true. But if we're talking about talent alone, he's definitely the best.
Yes,
he's definitely the best player in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
Either him or Jalen Ramsey.
I want to say Jalen Ramsey.
That's what I was going to say.
I'm definitely going to say, I feel like he's definitely going to be, whether he plays safety, whether he plays corner, I feel like he's going to be a lockdown player at that position. And I feel like he's definitely going to be a playmaker. But the guy to look out for really I feel like the best guy in this draft might end up being a second round pick.
Oh, boy.
Hear me out on this.
Okay.
Jalen Smith, linebacker,
Smith.
Yes.
Notre
Very
Dame.
good. I
Yes.
forgot.
I
Yes.
feel like, assuming he comes back from injury, assuming he's as good as the hype, I feel like right now he would have been the #1 overall pick, and I feel like he's definitely deserving of that. And even after he went down with injury, I didn't know how serious it was. I was hoping, maybe favorite team, the Jets, they could scoop him up with the 20th pick, and I would have been ecstatic.
Yeah.
Now that he might fall to the second round, any team that can get him, if he does come back, assuming he comes back and is as dynamic as they said he would be, that's just a steal, and I feel like he can be.
Absolutely.
And if you're talking about the future, especially.
Yeah.
No.
And what's crazy about that, the fact that that type of player is dropping all the way to the second round is insane. Think about it. Any team, a team that the Patriots,
Broncos, the
any great team could get him in the second round.
I know, it's crazy.
Versus one of the worst
Imagine
teams
if
would
the
get him.
Patriots get him.
I don't even want to know. I don't want to think about it.
He would be the next Jamie Collins.
He would be insane, absolutely insane. You mean Gerard Mayer, right?
No. He's an outside linebacker.
Oh, well, no, because Gerard Mayer retired. That's why. But anyway, mine, just for the sake of changing it up, I'm gonna throw in Miles Jack.
Definitely.
I personally thought Jalen Ramsey, but for the sake of just throwing a different name out there, I'll say Miles Jack. I don't know as much about him as I do about Jalen Ramsey. Maybe you guys could throw in your 2 cents. But can he play safety and linebacker?
Yeah.
He's that. That's insane.
He's definitely not gonna play safety. But they're just saying the pure athleticism.
That's how athletic
it's
he is. He's very smart. He can play the ball very well. He's a great linebacker. And just as a Giants fan, I think he would fit. Assuming he drops, he would fit beautifully in that system.
But then again, there is also the concern about his knee, which is another
That's
thing.
true, but that's the same thing with Smith. So
we think Jalen Ramsey, Miles Jack, and Joey Bosa.
Yep. Okay. Next question is: with the signing of RG3, do the Browns still draft a quarterback at number 2? Do they trade down? Do they not draft a quarterback at all? What do you guys think?
Absolutely.
Absolutely or absolutely not?
Absolutely. They have to draft a quarterback.
I don't think it's really an option.
I know RG3. I know he could
but
be.
But now, I just want to say one thing. Now that which is going to be one of our next questions. Now that the Rams have moved up, they don't have their pick of either quarterback now because Titans weren't drafting a quarterback. So now that they're only going to be left with really one quarterback out of the 2 they were looking at, do they still do it? That's what. Now you can go.
Okay. I still think that they definitely do because I don't know if RG3 is the answer. They got him in as a backup quarterback who, if one of their guys goes down or their top draft pick doesn't go well, he's the fallback option. And you need that in the NFL, so that's why the signing of him was big for the Browns. I don't think he's good enough to be a starter anymore. I really don't. I think that he's not that dynamic of a player anymore. So yeah, I definitely think they should draft a quarterback. And the top 2 picks are probably going to be quarterbacks. The Browns should be. I mean, they're obviously upset that they can't pick their choice, but at least they're going to get whatever's coming to them. You don't have to stress out about what quarterback do we have to take.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, at least that relieves the stress. But yeah, I think that they definitely have to draft a quarterback. I think either quarterback would be good with them. I'd rather them get Jared Goff. I think he would be better in that system with Hugh Jackson. But yeah, so that's what I think. At least they definitely need to draft a quarterback.
I personally think that I wouldn't be surprised if they draft a quarterback at all. I feel like it might come down to 2 things. One, if they're happy with the quarterback that's left to them after the Rams make their decision. And I also think that it comes down to another decision. Laramie Tunsil. A lot of people say he is the best player. We didn't think so, but a lot of people, and they can make a very strong case as to why he is. He's a great player, was arguably going to go number 1 prior to the trade. So, with Mitchell Schwartz now gone, Joe Thomas, who's an animal, but he's getting older, I wouldn't be surprised if the Browns draft Laramie Tunsil, put him at right tackle, develop him at right tackle as he gets better while Joe Thomas is still there, and then when Joe Thomas retires, take Laramie Tunsil and put him at left tackle and still be backing whoever quarterback, who potentially could be RG3, or the following year, if they draft a quarterback from the following year's class, could be protecting him. So, especially with an injury-prone RG3, assuming that is who they have starting at the beginning of the year, I wouldn't be surprised if they try to protect him as much as possible. I also think RG3 is a very good quarterback and can start and play at a very high level. I feel like when he was with the Redskins, he wasn't that good of a player. Wasn't around that good of a team, rather, and I didn't like the scheme that they had him in. You could say that, they had him running, but they weren't protecting him. They had him running too much.
Yeah.
I didn't like the way that he was fit in there. That's my standpoint on it. What do you say?
I'm going to say they really still need to draft a quarterback. Like you said, I wouldn't be surprised if they didn't. There's a lot of other good players, but right now I'd say they still need a quarterback. Until you find a franchise quarterback in this league, if you have the option to get one with the 2nd overall pick, you got to jump on the opportunity. And I know they don't have a history of drafting good quarterbacks at all, but I feel like you need to. And even if he doesn't start this year, even if they did draft RG3 to be the starter for this year and just develop behind RG3, you still have Josh McCown for now. They're probably not going to keep him. But even if they do, I feel like the quarterback that they pick should not be thrown into the fire a year or 2 behind RG3. And I feel like the Browns could finally have something here rather than we've seen in the years past with Johnny Manziel and Brandon Weeden, those guys, you know what I mean?
Exactly, yeah.
I feel like, pretty much.
Alright, so that wraps that question up. So next and finally we have who got the better end of the deal, which we briefly touched on, the Titans or the Rams? Do you guys know?
I have the.
You have it pulled up?
Yeah, it's somewhere.
Okay,
I'll find it.
Basically, I just know this. It's that they get the 1st and 3rd round.
Do you want me to tell you right now?
Yeah, I have it now. So sorry. Sorry about that. So the Titans traded the 2016 first overall pick, the 2016 4th round pick, the 2016 6th round pick. So that's the 3 picks that the Titans traded for. For the Rams, 2016 15th overall pick, the 2016 43rd overall pick, the 2016 45th overall pick, the 2016 76th overall pick, a 2017 first round pick, and a 2017 3rd round pick. So the Titans got basically 2 first round picks, 2 second round picks, and 3 third round picks.
2 third round picks.
Yeah, 2 third round picks. That's what I meant. And the Rams got the first overall pick, a 4th, and a 6th this year. So my standpoint on it, you want to say yours first?
Okay, sure. What I was gonna say was the Rams are starting to. They need to make this move. I think they gave away way too much, personally.
Yes,
I think that the Titans definitely got the better end of the deal. However, if this guy becomes the next Peyton Manning, are you going to say that the Titans got the better end of the deal? No. Most obviously not.
No.
So, they needed to take a shot. They're in a win-now type situation. Their division is way too good for them to even make the playoffs and make a crazy run because of how good the Cardinals, the Seahawks are. So, and now the 49ers are starting to make their come up with some of their younger players. So, they need a quarterback. They have Todd Gurley. They have Tavon Austin's decent. Their defensive line is
amazing.
young and phenomenal. Some of their corners are pretty good. Their defense as a whole is good. They need that extra push to be able to contend in their division and contend for the Super Bowl. This is what they needed to contend. They need to trade away. They need to take their shot on a quarterback. Obviously, they're not dumb. You don't trade away that much to get somebody that you're not that high on. They're in love with somebody or both of those quarterbacks, meaning Jared Goff and Carson Wentz. They got to be in love with one of them or both of them. And so they're going to make a move, and they're going to stick with that and just hope it does. Obviously, if it blows up in their face, they're going to catch heat for it. But you can't really blame them. They need to make a move. Their players are only getting older. They're not going to win a Super Bowl without a quarterback. And they don't really have anybody other than this guy that they're potentially going to draft. So I think that this was huge for them.
I definitely agree with you. And I actually have a kind of a cool stat. The last time a first-round draft pick, the first overall pick got traded was Eli Manning back in 2004.
Yeah, I heard that.
Then the pick next time after that was the Rams again, trading up to the first overall pick to draft none other than Hall of Famer Orlando Pace.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe there's a little bit of a trend here that people who trade up for the first overall pick get good players, but you can't say that right here, obviously, right now. Yeah. But I definitely think that they need to make the trade. It was a great pickup, great job by the Titans to get all those draft picks out of the family.
They definitely made out a winner because they weren't even going to draft a quarterback anyway. So
exactly.
They didn't need that.
So so that's definitely a win by the Rams. But the Titans did get the better end of the deal right now. But again, like you said, if this guy turns out to be the next Peyton Manning, then the Rams definitely got the better end of the deal. Also, I really want to say really quick that remember the last time that big of a trade happened before the draft?
It was the Rams and the Redskins.
Exactly, and it was basically
it
was basically the exact same trade. So kind of see correlations here. Hopefully not for the Rams, but
yeah, exactly.
I want to say that as of right now, I'm gonna go and say obviously the Rams would win if he comes out like Peyton Manning, but obviously that's not going to happen often.
Well, it's not likely.
No, I'm not saying it's not going to happen. I'm saying it's not likely that will be anywhere near Peyton Manning if these guys. I'm saying right now that the Titans got the better end of the deal, and here's why. First overall pick, who were they going to draft? Tunsil?
Tunsil.
I mean, he's not a franchise
He's not
player.
we talked about that before.
We did talk about that. You need a guy that'll, propel you. Mm-hmm. You need to get a superstar with that pick, which the Rams are going to get a quarterback, that's respectable. Offensive lineman, not as much. The fact that they were able to get that much value out of the first overall pick when they were just going to pick a lineman, I just feel like the players that they can get with the 15th pick, the mid-round picks, next year's first, next year's third, I just feel like that's huge for them, and they're just going to make the most of it. And I feel like, this is an up-and-coming team. They're young, they're getting good, and just a couple more pieces, and they'll be fine.
They now have 3 second-round picks. 3. Mm-hmm. That's insane. That you can basically build an entire position group off of those 3 picks.
Exactly. Yeah, they could really turn their franchise around and make things really good for them.
Yeah.
Did you see what the Redskins tweeted right after the trade happened? They tweeted the eyes going the different directions.
And Jalen Ramsey tweeted, "I didn't know the Rams liked me that much," or something like that. Put laughing faces. But that wraps it up for questions of the week. Next, we'll be moving on to trivia of the week.